Who's on my shirt, you're asking? That is, in fact, Betty Boop. Can't see it. There we go. It's, in fact, Betty Boop. My pad looks so big on this screen. Betty Boop used to, in fact, be my my nickname as a child. It was a nickname my father gave me growing up. I don't know why. He used to call me Betty Boop. And not only that, with him calling me Betty Boop. Come here, Violet. With him calling me Betty Boop. Come on. I'm sorry. Stop. No. With him calling me Betty Boop, he used to actually buy me stuff like toys. I mean, not toys, like t-shirts and stuff like that to go along with the nickname. I don't know why he called me that as a child. But yeah, Betty Boop was my nickname, and I had everything Betty Boop you can think of. Yes, I did. Because wasn't she even in black and white? I thought as a child, I remember having some VHS tapes. Yeah, she was in black and white. Maybe that could be an inspiration of why I actually do my videos today in black and white, and even have done them in the past in black and white. I'm not just doing videos in black and white just to do them in black and white. There's more meaning behind them. But yeah, so I am in fact a multi-potentialite, right? And in me saying this, I have various talents, and yet sometimes I choose not to call myself an artist because for some unknown reason, you know, once you put these labels and these titles on yourself, people expect you to live up to these standards. As I said before, a lot of times you can call yourself a label and a title, right? And people who are outside of you who do not share those same talents, they expect you to actually live up to those standards in which them themselves can't even live up to, because most of the people, a lot of times that you come around, many of them don't really have talent themselves. I'm saying they don't really have 5 or 6 talents. So you kind of wonder, like, well, who is you to tell me how to run my talents, my gifts, and my skills if you don't possess these same things? There was an actual guy in my family member, which is the reason why I no longer surround myself around this individual. Too much negativity. I used to record myself singing and rapping on YouTube on one of my other channels or whatnot back in the day. A channel I no longer use today, but I would sing certain songs like by Brandy and other people just to sing them, just to have something to do in my free time. And this individual took it upon himself to basically say, why are you singing other people's songs? But mind you, songwriting has always been the thing that I do, so I have the talents and the skills enough to write my own songs, which was what I've been doing since the beginning of time. So why wouldn't I sometimes sing other people's renditions? Like, that didn't make any sense to me. But once again, I guess out of jealousy, he was asking me why I need to sing other people's stuff. And I'm like, well, who doesn't? Just really strange. Yeah, them type of people I remove myself from, because to have positivity is to know that art is in all forms, and even in the area of karaoke style and singing other people's renditions. Some people enjoyed it. He might not have enjoyed it, but there was in fact other people that have enjoyed it. So I noticed with me certain skills and talents, the fact that I can do, come here, Prince, that I can actually do. When other people get jealous and they notice that other people like and admire the things that you do, so they get jealous, then the negativity begins. So in order for me not to deal with that is to remove myself out of space. So getting back to what I was saying, being a multi-potentialite, artist, or whatever you want to call it, multi-potentialite means to have many gifts and many interests, and yet sometimes we become bored with those very interests and, ideals and all that talent, skills that we have. Yes, you can have so many gifts and talents that sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm completely bored with this mess. So these coloring books, in a sense, I bought these from a store. Yes, all of them, except for the Dora Explorer one. That's my niece's. Bought them from a store because I love cartoon characters. And I love actually redrawing cartoon characters. Yes, I do. So when I was growing up as a kid, I can say the age of when I started drawing was somewhere around like 7, I think 7 or 8 years old, or 6 years old. I think I was like 6 years old. I have fond memories of when I used to be at the dinner table. Stop it! Thank you. I used to be at the dinner table and I wouldn't eat my food. And I wouldn't do my homework. And my granny used to be so mad and upset because, remember, she was like our babysitter, our keeper or whatnot. So she would be so peed off at the fact of I would place so much emphasis in drawing stuff and yet nothing else. When I say I was so obsessed with drawing, I was completely obsessed with drawing. Like, I've had a easel, a painting easel and everything. She used to throw all my stuff in the garbage, which I get peed off thinking about today. Like, why would you do such thing? My drum set, she threw that in the garbage. So, yeah. So, with me saying this, yeah, I used to draw so much I would not want to do anything else. I would spend hours on end drawing Bart Simpson because I love Bart Simpson. Me and my cousin used to actually sit side by side and watch like the Flintstones and the Jetsons. We would just sit drawing Bart Simpson, which was so weird. Later on, I'm gonna have to make another video of those old drawings because I do have a few of them. Yes, Bart Simpson. So Mickey Mouse, one of my favorite cartoon characters. See how basic this is? Ooh, I got the burpees. My chest. Because I drank something, so that's what that is. But simple characters like this, I love. I love to literally sit down and sometimes watch cartoon stuff or just watch stuff on YouTube and literally, go to redraw these type of things. Because, I don't know, they help to keep your freehand up. Because, sometimes the longer you go without actually doing something, the more rusty you become, as they say. And so stuff like this helps. See the detail? It's really basic detail, but sometimes you can bypass even that. I believe the Star Wars coloring book that I got helps you even more with the detail. I like that. See, I like that. I would redraw stuff like this. Put some color to it, put some shimmer to it, and put it up on the wall. So that was the Mickey one. Star Wars, my favorite. See what I said about the detail? The fine detail, that's fine-tooth type of detail. Where you would literally, it would take you hours upon hours to redraw something like this. Because remember, there's no tracing involved. It's all freehand. Yeah. So that was the point. Like I said, see, like that, his body, that would take a long time to really put some time and energy into redrawing him. Because see, look at that, the fine detail. It takes a lot of work to do that. It literally takes your mind's eye scoping in. I tried drawing him a little bit. Let me see if I can pull that out of my drawing manual. This book, my niece bought this for me for Christmas. She bought that along with some pencils for me to draw all this stuff I drew. So here he goes. I couldn't fit him in because I did him too big, so he couldn't completely fit. My old school nickname right there, you see it? It doesn't even have the W. But yeah, Shay Wood was my old school art name. I like trying out different names because they're fun. They're like, they spell out alter ego in a sense. But I drew this in 2017. And I called it lines. On each page, I called it lines because the point was to, in fact, improve my lines. You got what I'm saying? That was the point and position in all this, was to, in fact, improve my lines. Let me move that was my... No, I did not burp or poop or whatever that noise was. That was, in fact, my sandal, so I can sit down. So see that? I drew that. And when you put them side by side, if only I would have, when I drew this, if only I would have made this a whole lot smaller, I probably could fit more of him in. And not only that, I probably could fit all three of them in. But seeming, you know, I made him more big and blown up and almost lifelike. I couldn't really get the whole detail in. So this is a go right here. That's basically it. But yeah, my old school art name, Shea Wood. I liked that because it reminded me of like shea butter. The name of shea butter. Basically, what the nickname Shea Wood represented in my mind, why I was using the name when I came up with it, it represented feminine and masculine. When I said we as humans possess both qualities of masculinity and femininity, that was the reason why I gave myself that name, because shea butter is something that's so soft, and yet the name was Shea Wood. So that represented, yes, femininity, as the wood represented masculinity. So that is where that name came from. So this right here, I drew this. The ideal came from out of this book, somewhere in this book. All these type of books, when I get these books like this, the only point and position of these books are to be used as reference guides. You know, because they're really basic childhood type of, childlike books. And so they're a point of reference, you know, just enough to get you started. I messed up on his foot. See his foot? His foot is completely messed up. I erased it, and yet I never tried to redraw it. I just left it as it was. And I did these actually the summer of last year. See how that's messed up? That's messed up. That's what happens, see, because I'm trying to get this hair off my screen by blowing it, and yet it's not moving. But this is the thing that happens, you know, when you don't work on your certain gifts or your skills, when you don't work on them often, you know, you come out with certain things like this. You know, it's kind of off. But I prefer to, you know, do these type of things, as I said before, in my free time. This was a freehand. Matter of fact, when I saw this, that was in the tattoo book. And I drew this way, way back. He has no other eye. His eye is gone. I drew this way, way back in like 1997, 98 is when I drew this. I saw his face in a tattoo book, and I said, ooh, I want to like see if I can draw that out bigger. Because usually when you see, you know, the screenshots in the tattoo books, they're usually about, you know, about that big or something, right? It's not that big, and so I wanted him much more bigger. So that's why I drew him as big as that, so I can have something to put on my wall. Oh, my niece drawing. She saw that. She saw everything that I drew in this book and said, oh, can I draw something? So I was like, fine, that's fine. Here was one that I started, Disney. That's a mess in itself. That's a mess. When I said about the multi-potentialite, how sometimes we start stuff and don't always finish the very thing that we start because we have a tendency to get bored at certain things. Yes, we do. But sometimes I always wonder, like, where would I have ended up if, say, my grandmother would never prevented me from drawing? Because she literally made me stop drawing. So that's one of the reasons why, I didn't draw as much anymore. Because, see, when I look at a lot of this, it's not up to my full potential. Most of these drawings, they are not completely up to my full potential. They're not up to my best. They're not up to par. And see, this is what happens when you're a child, and then you're growing up and you have potential, and yet adults try to talk you out of certain things or talk you away from certain things. I like this. Mickey Mouse. I actually remember when I drew this. All the other ones I don't remember, but this one right here, I actually remember when I was drawing this one. Because his hands, I had to keep erasing and redrawing his hands. He came out kind of good though. Even his ears came out kind of good. His head is kind of lopsided, but everything else is looking on point. So yes, I just feel like, when kids are young, this is out of the Dora book. That's a hot mess. He's a hot mess. I feel like, as I was saying, that's a hot mess. But Dora too. My only favorite one in this is this. So, I just feel like, when kids are young, you should never stop them from what it is they're trying to do or they're trying to achieve. You shouldn't stop that unless say, for example, I had a conversation with my niece and she's into dancing and stuff like that. I really wouldn't want her to go into Hollywood doing that, knowing that she hasn't been completely exposed to that. You got what I'm saying? As a baby in the area of just being around it every day. You know how, like, if you live in the same house with somebody, they will usually be exposed to that type of lifestyle every day. But seeming she hasn't been, I would persuade her to basically, if you wanna dance, then get a business license and open your own dance school so that you can teach others instead of trying to do Hollywood. That's different. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I know and understand how Hollywood is. It's not everything that many people think that it is. First of all, it's high-paced. People are not who you think they are. Many people are vultures out to take advantage of other people in the area of business and getting over on others and getting what they want, and yet not considering other people's feelings. And so for her to be a young girl, I wouldn't persuade her to go in something like that at all, because she has a very vulnerable mindset, and she was born that way. A highly, very vulnerable mindset. Want to be easily taken advantage of, left to be hooked on drugs, and to end up in prostitution. So I wouldn't persuade her to go into any industry like that. No, I wouldn't. Got to have a very strong mind. So, yeah, so in the area of drawing, I can kind of understand my grandmother not wanting me to, draw, but at the same time, like I said, I had a drum set. She threw away my drum set. She used to throw away all type of stuff that I used to enjoy. And when I think back on life, like, man, just imagine if I was really, really good as I used to be in drawing. If I was like that today, you never know. I might be deep in illustration, working somewhere over at Disney somewhere, helping them out with that. You never know. You just never know. Pixar, that type of stuff, that's all illustration work. But maybe things happen for a reason. Maybe it wasn't intended like that. But I still just feel like you shouldn't, when children have gifts and talents, you shouldn't, do stuff like that, because that stunts them. After that happened, of me being forced to give up the gift and the art of drawing like I used to. I was like lost for a long time. I was like really, really lost for a long time. And that's what happens. You know, you can really rip a child's identity from them when you do certain things like that. When you take away the very thing of who makes them, of what makes them who they are. Oh, my Spider-Man mask. That is so cool. Look, it was only $4 at the store. Actually, at the grocery store. You can't tell me that ain't cool. He's highly artistic in his own world. Just looking at him. And that's really cheap to buy a mask like that, because if I would have bought a mask like this at, say, a place like Hot Topic or something, because they sell crazy stuff like this, especially during Halloween time. If I would have, yeah, especially knowing that it's Marvel, bought this mask at a place like Hot Topic, they probably would have charged me about $20-something. You never know. Because it's by Marvel. And usually sometimes Marvel, like Walmart, I would have got this cheap. Which I'm thinking that's where I got it from. I can't remember where I got it from. But certain stores that you go to, these type of masks are not cheap at all. They'll be about near $30. I got him because I just liked it. His whole aura. You know, nothing is there, but yet I would actually wear that. Yes, I would. Because I'm crazy like that. Very artistic like that. Oh, I wore this on a video. Let me move him over. Who is this? The Joker. It's got oil on it because of my hair. The stuff that I got in my hair. That is in fact the Joker. I was using him as a logo a few years ago because that man is just off the hook. He's very wild. He don't care about nothing. He don't care about when he get in other people's way and what devastation he cause. I don't know. I like him. He's something very weird about him. Very strange. Mickey Mouse. These all bring back childhood memories. These are all the scarves for my head. And yet I haven't been wearing them like maybe I should. Maybe I'll wear them more on video. Who's that? That's Batman. 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 Yeah, I like that. I got all these from Walmart. They are so cool, ain't they? If I would have used my other camera, the lighting and color and everything would have been so much more better than this. Which maybe one day I will retape this. Who knows? But I try to have something that, you know, because sometimes you can get so carried away in the area of quality. People who are artists is known to do that. They'll get so carried away in the area of wanting things to be so high end in quality that they never get anything done. And that has never been me. I'm the type person, I can do something and it looks so bootleg and horrible, I'll just put it up anyway enough to say, look, I did it. I did it, because if you try to make everything look so perfect, that actually halts progress. It stops it. That's why I made that video about, you know, not being a perfectionist, because when you try to want everything perfect, that can put you behind in life. As you're aiming to have everything perfect and looking perfect on video, that can put you behind in life, because you're like, oh, I got to do this and I got to make sure this and I got to make, and it's not all that serious. Because everyday people is watching it, you know. Even if it was high status people watching it, my thing is, get it done. That's what I always tell my mom about certain things. I keep covering this microphone. I'm so sorry. It's just a habit. But getting stuff done. You know, everything is not going to be of perfectionism and precision. It can't be. Some of the most world-renowned high-class people is not putting precision into every small thing that they do. Remember, they don't have time. They have teams of people that can help in that, but in order to cut the cost and, you know, cut down stuff, the timing, sometimes they just, you know, throw some stuff together. And when you work in the industry, that's one of the things you'll learn. See, from the outside of the industry, a lot of stuff looks so like it's been glitz and glam, but not all the time. Notice that, because oftentimes their team will throw stuff together. And that's the point, just to say that, okay, we did it, we got it done, let's move on to the next thing. Because they're managing a lot of stuff. See my socks? I got on mismatched socks. I do some very interesting things, I must say. That's what artists do. I have on a white sock, which is gray at the tip, and a black sock, which is just all black, and flip-flops. It's completely homely, and yet it's completely vagabond. That's something that a homeless person would do, but I do this type of stuff every day. And yet, somebody will ask me, why do you have on mismatched socks? Won't you go buy some new socks? Okay, you tell me because somebody mentioned that to me before. You say that to me, right? And yet, notice, I have a pair of brand new socks right here. That's what I'm saying. I do stuff on purpose. Everything that I do serves a purpose. These are brand new socks. And yet, I'm sitting here in mismatched socks. That's my own appeal. See, I can't be like everybody else. That just does not work out. I can't do what everybody else does. Look at all that junk. Did I show my Joker hat? I'm gonna show my Joker hat. I mean, I'm gonna show all my other hats another time, but that's my Joker hat. All this serves purpose in the area of art. Yes, it does. All this. That is so cool, isn't it? I love stuff like this. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I question God in the area of what was God thinking when he or she created me, because I just love all type of artistic stuff. Like, I just feel like I wasn't meant to just do one thing. How some people feel like they were born to do just one thing. See that? SpongeBob. I'm going to make a video about even that. The ties of why I have ties in my possession and why I wear ties. I think this is that's name brand. But I don't even really get into name brand stuff like this. I don't. I like to buy stuff from like the Goodwill. I like to buy my clothes from the secondhand store. I do. And that's how you can tell who an artist is. See that? I used to wear these to work. And when I say work, I mean McDonald's when I was younger. That's where I got the idea of actually wearing ties outside of just seeing my dad wear them sometimes. In his old photos, he used to dress up all the time, every single day. Back in the 70s. Yes, he did. My dad used to always dress up. And so I have all his photos. But not only that, where I worked at one McDonald's, they made us wear ties. And they made us actually, you know, put them on the right way. They taught us how to actually put ties on. And so from then on, I just had a love of just ties. I never let it go. Because I felt like, man, if they introduced us to that, I'm almost being like how Dad is with his old school style. Gloves. What is this? Let me see what this is. I don't know what these are. Leg warmers. Mom bought me these. I would probably wear these on my arms. I wouldn't wear these on my legs. I would wear these on my arms. Yeah, it just... That comes another time. That comes another day for me to do the video on, you know, all the different stuff, because I wanted to do that video today, of all the type of stuff, like the styles that I wear and stuff like that. This stand right here is actually a stand that people put in their garages. And yet I wanted it so bad, because to be an artist is to choose and select stuff that is so different. Yes, this is let me fix this hat. This is in fact a garage stand. There we go. The hats that I wear, being an artist. Let me see this. Mom bought me this hat. I'm trying to pull it down. I'ma show these later, because I can't even pull them down. But those come later on the actual video that I was supposed to make today in relation to, you know, clothing, my style. Seeming I'm oftentimes asked, what is the style that I prefer when I dress? How do I like to dress? I would have had made that video first, and yet I knew that it was going to take so long for me to make, because I would have to pull everything out. So I'll make that maybe tomorrow. I'll make that video tomorrow. But yeah, being an artist is the best thing ever. Yes, it is. The hats, my hats, all that weed hat right there. That's because I don't smoke weed, and yet I endorse everything in the area of freedom. And even when it comes to people who are hippies, just because I don't smoke it don't mean that I should tell you that you shouldn't smoke it. That's really not my place, and I'll make a video about that. I just feel like if you're going to do stuff like that, just be responsible and don't put other people in harm's way. But yeah, a multi-potentialite. I showed all this stuff, the syllabus I made, and the you know, Bach, my music book, song book, you know, in the area of sight reading. I do everything. Everything. And yet this video doesn't really show enough, but I did want to show that area of me drawing and stuff like that. That's one of the areas I had, you know, failed to put on video, but now we got it on video. I guess we're good to go. Let's see what videos, what type of videos what else should I make? I should actually break out some of our old DVDs that we have and see if we have any old VHS tapes. I did have a VCR, but I think that's gone. Sometimes it helps to actually go through some of your stuff and see what you have. All your old stuff that you forgot about that's in bins and stuff. See what you have and then actually record it. Like, pull it out. Show what it is. Speak about what it is. And then state what your memories is about each item. That's what I'm going to start doing. Pulling out old things. Oh, what else? In the area of art, let me show you something else. These magazines. Didn't I speak about these magazines? I got like so many different magazines right here. Look at this. They're all still in plastic. I know my turtle tank is so loud. I mean, these magazines go on for days. Look at this. Bon Appetit. And there's many more of them that I got rid of. But these ones right here like are completely in plastic. And I need to open them. Vanity Fair. You got Allure. Bon Appetit. Glamour. I'm gonna have to open all these up, right? And maybe go through them. Go through these. Open them up, go through them. Pick a topic and maybe discuss the topic. Maybe pick like 4 or 5 magazines from each one in a video. And discuss each one. Discuss them quickly so that it doesn't take a long time. But yeah, How I got all these magazines like this, I don't even know myself. They just, one day, I woke up and the magazines came in the mail and they never stopped coming. They have recently slowed down. Somebody was saying it could be because of industry, right? You know, because industry type of things, you get all type of everything. So that's what somebody was saying, because of industry. But I'm like, man, like I said before, I had woke up, the magazines came in. Look at Angelina Jolie. They came in and they never stopped coming. And I was like, oh my gosh, like how can I get these to stop coming? Because I don't have enough room. All these magazines are in fact journalism. They help out with stuff. When you go through stuff and you need ideals for whatever you're trying to work on, yes, they do. You got to think. You got to always think creatively. You can't think, you know, in the box. You got to always, especially in the area of industry type of stuff, you got to always think outside of the box. If you have writer's block and say you're helping a corporation or company come up with whatever ideals for whatever, go in a magazine like one of these. Flip what you see into something new and extend off of what you see. You got what I'm saying? Does that make sense? If I'm struggling to come up with something in relation to a TV show, you know, or even a title, helping the title that particular whatever, it could be any type of TV show, right? And you're serving on a panel as a panelist or something like that, and they're trying to come up with a good title that is eye-catching towards the audience before it's released to the public, because I have done stuff like that. One of the best ways is to pull something from a magazine and totally, completely flip what you see in the magazine. It could be in a sentence. It could be something that was creative in a sentence in the area of journalism. And you actually pull from that and you say, okay, I can rework this in a more creative, fashionable way. Enough to heighten the attention at people's eyes. Because remember, a title of a show is one of the most grandest highlights of the day. It is. So that's why I've gotten a chance to serve in the way that I have, because I think so different. I can flip anything. And when I say flipping, I mean how you flip. How some people purchase a house, they go and they buy a house, and the house is like trash. And what they end up doing is they gut everything out of the house and make it into something whole new, extravagant. That's how I think in the mind, in the area of art and helping other people, even corporations, come up with titles even for shows. I've done that. Yes, I have. I've actually helped rename TV shows. That word, they had the title of the show, but the title wasn't fitting enough. So it was forced to be renamed. So I'm good at that because I'm a writer. Yeah, so these magazines are no joke. Like I said, I had to take them and donate them. So I had to, as soon as I would get them, I would take them over to the library and donate them, because if you get, as soon as the magazines come in and they're not old, the library will take them. Basically anybody will take them. You can take them to an art center anywhere, you know, that need, you know, stuff like this for creative potential. But yeah, I was getting them out of the house as quick as they was coming in, because once again, to have so much stuff is to not have enough room, especially in a tiny space. Got my tripod right there. Sometimes you can have, well, both of them, you can have too much going on in your art studio. If you look from far away, everything looks so junky. You know, room is too small for what is going on. But I love sometimes, well, all the time, being blessed with the gift of just being able to create. Because even if sometimes you don't feel at your best or your greatest, one thing you can say, you can go somewhere over in the corner and create something. If I don't feel at my greatest, I can go write some poetry. If I don't feel like writing poetry, I can flip that and actually write songs for somebody. If I ain't in the mood for that, I can go draw like I showed you before. I can go draw. If I ain't in the mood for that, I can get on one of my musical keyboards, and do that. Do something in the area of that. If I'm not in the mood to play piano and chords and all that, I can, get on the actual laptop and, make some beats or something. Opportunity is endless when you're an artist. So if I don't feel like getting on a computer and making beats, I can, what else can I do? Man, this tank is so loud. If I don't feel like making beats, I can play around with the sound effects and the programs, because I got so many different recording programs, it makes no sense. Like I said before, I got Pro Tools 12, I got Logic X Pro, I got GarageBand, I got M Audio. What else do I got? I got M Audio. I got Sony Acid. I still got all my old programs. And I got 50 million plugins from when I went to school and graduated. That's what, by the time they got done giving us all these programs and stuff like that for us to use on our laptop, I literally used up 136 gigabyte on one Mac, just with plugins for me to be able to record and do projects and stuff like that. So if I don't feel like doing that, I can sit memorizing chords, musical chords. If I don't feel like doing that, I can sit and read through some sheet music, try to come up with ideas of generating my own chords, which I've been known to do in the past. I have a method of where I can actually generate chords. Yes, I do stuff like that. It's fun. Actually weird. Chord progressions. If I don't feel like doing any of that, I can work on chord progressions and coming up with my own unique weird chord progressions outside of the standard. If I don't feel like doing that, I can in fact create my own chords. Like there was, when I showed this right here, this says neo soul chords. There was a guy who have actually came up with chords like this. You know what I'm saying? He does the same thing that I do. He's on YouTube, where you just come up with your own type of chords that they don't really, they go together, but there's something that other people wouldn't think of. Because remember, to break stuff apart is to put it back together. Even in the area of sound and music. So yes, you can create your own chords. Neo soul is a sound all its own, and pertaining to R&B love songs. That's what neo soul is. And so these chords can be used for that very thing, of if you're trying to write love songs for other people. And I have worked with other people in that area. Transposing chords. What's this? I showed that already. Did I show that? Transposing chords. Yes, I showed that. What is this? Diatonic chords. That's a mess. Look at this. I wrote all this out. It's a mess. This is all notes, musical notes that I wrote out. I'm saying to understand how to do various things is just to do them, It helps put your mind at work and relieve stress. So I think that is all to be said about artistic pursuits. Once again, you can do anything in the area of art. You should never be told what you can't do, because to stand outside of the box is to see it from afar in the area where you fit in, although your purpose to fit out. So you're on the outside looking in, you're creating your own model. That's all I'm trying to say. You're creating your own model and ways of doing things. Of instead of you fit in the standard, you actually create standards. That's what I do. Yeah, so I think that's all I'm gonna share, because with me being in this room with this tank is too loud. So I'm gonna make videos. I said this before, I'm gonna make videos about the type of clothes that I wear, like the style, even though I don't do glamour or makeup. The style, maybe some of the old styles that I used to wear, stuff that I like to wear in the summertime, which is like scrubs from the hospital. I like wearing stuff like that. Scrubs. I like scrubs because they're really not shorts, and yet they're thin enough for the air to blow through. Make a video about my shoes that I like to wear, which is Converses. My hats, they were kind of like the fedora like Michael Jackson wore when he was alive. My book bags, all the stuff I'm gonna share, I'm gonna just share it and then explain the meaning and probably give a little bit detailed backstory behind each. So that's it. I'm ending this video. Violet, say bye, Poopsie. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Quit being a spoiled little brat. She got her diapers on. Got her little pampies on. So we're hanging up for now. And we're gone. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and